So underrated cards. Well, one card that I love seeing played is the Graveyard. It's the newest card in Clash Royale. Yep. I stole it from you. The Graveyard is just so much fun. Yeah. Watching your opponent's face when it just starts spawning all over the place, not having a counter. I'd love to see the Graveyard.
Exactly. I mean, there's great ways to counter the Graveyard spell. Minions and the Minion Horde are great, but if you're not ready for it, it's just disastrous.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll be seeing... Oh, I'm sorry.
It's great on defense, too.
Well, maybe we'll be seeing a Graveyard in the second game, everyone, which we are going to get into just in a minute. What other items, or not items, but cards do you think are really underplayed recently in the meta?
Well, I think some cards that could be able to distract the meta as it is right now would be those bait decks. So decks that involve the Goblin Barrel, the Princess, the Minion Horde, the Graveyard, the Skeleton Army. There's so many cards that require you to use arrows or zap. And if you play against some of these big tanky decks or ones that don't have some of those key counter cards, you can easily turn a match on its head. I know Alvaro did it to me yesterday, and it made me really upset.
You can bait it out on offense or on defense. If you baited out their spells or the cards that are going to counter, then you can drop a Skeleton Army. It's going to annihilate a Royal Giant. It's going to take out a Giant. There's all sorts of way to play that. And again, even with a mirror, which I would like to see some of those mirrored cards come out, and it's just overwhelming.
Well, I think we actually have game 2 ready to go, everyone. It is Clyde versus Tony. Clyde is on the top side red, and Tony is blue on the bottom side.
All right. Let's go and check out battle number 2, Clyde against Tony. Now, Clyde could be, I know for the Super Magical Cup, there's someone named Clyde. Could be him. I've heard that he's a good player. Haven't had a chance to review any of his matches. But again, we see a Furnace right off the bat, and that just smells like a Royal Giant.
Just taken out, just neutralized by the Tombstone. You see a lot of that. Neither one of those defensive cards are really able to make much headway.
Right.
Obviously, the Furnace, ideally, you're going to try to drizzle one Fire Spirit at a time onto that tower. And with the Log taking out the Tombstone again.
Oop. There goes the Golem. Now, keep in mind with the Furnace and the Tombstone dies much quicker than the Furnace. It has much less of a lifespan. So usually the Furnace, even though it seems like it gets countered hard by the Tombstone, it's able to sort of hang in there and outlast. But there goes the Mortar
from Tony. We missed a beautiful lightning spell from Tony earlier. Just eradicated that Mega Minion instantly. That was beautiful. Got the well played out of Clyde, but the Mortar didn't last long.
Oh, man. When that Mortar got played, I think I heard Molt in the background. So we'll see. We'll check on him a little bit later when I hop off the desk. But yeah, you're 100% correct about that lightning spell. We talked about how to beat those aerial decks and taking out the support units. That's exactly what he did. He lightning down so much right there and took the Mega Minion out just like that.
Yep, obviously, you're not really focused on lightning a tank like a Golem or a Lava Hound, but when you can grab the tower and a third unit as well.
Exactly.
Lumberjack coming down the left lane.
Wow. That's an interesting one. The Zap spell, he spent 6 elixir on that push, only a 3 elixir Skeleton Army. That's a positive elixir trade right there.
That sure is, and there is a wasted rage spell not doing much.
Well, let's see how Tony sets up for this. So, obviously, Galadon, I don't know about you. I'm not a Siege expert. I've never said I was. I've definitely made a little bit of a ripple to the community with my outspokenness about Siege, but as it is right now, it seems fairly balanced. The Mortar is going to get 1 hit off, and I've heard from players that all they're looking for is at least 1 hit with the Mortar, which you got right there.
Right. You get a little bit of value like that. They're not counting on, like they used to, getting a bunch of shots off because it is so powerful, even with just 1 shot at a time.
Yep.
It's another way to look at a chip deck. Right. You just want a couple hundred at a time, especially when you have 3 minutes of overtime.
Yeah,
You've got plenty of time to grind a tower down, even if it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to mention that we are playing on the friendly battle and tournament format where it's 3 minutes of overtime. So decks that might not normally be able to pick up that win before overtime ends, right here, it's gonna be a-okay. All right, lightning spell's going down, not able to kill that Lumberjack. It's gonna go ahead and hang in there. He's got a lot of stuff coming inside of the map. Looks like Tony's gonna have to watch out.
That clutch lightning spell took out the Musketeer. Mega Minion got in there, got a couple shots in the tower. Golem is going to get there.
Oh, man.
Maybe as Golemites, but that tower is in trouble.
That new Golem explosion, he actually missed it, but the Golem now kills minions when it explodes. So luckily the Minion Horde missed, but just like that, the tower's going down, and Clyde is going to pick up a 1 crown to 0 victory.
That was tight. 4 seconds left. That last Golemite got that last shot in. Tower goes.
Tony kept trying to set up that Mortar. He was chipping, but you notice the game flip on its head when it went to double elixir. Such an expensive deck, he was able to finally pull it out.
I actually want to talk about the shift of the meta going into that double elixir. How does the game change?
Yeah, it's really good for expensive decks. So, depending on